We have invited Mr. President Zaya for a short discussion on today's event at Parliament Palace. Good afternoon, and thank you for accepting our invitation to give us an interview. So my first question will be, what achievements do you foresee after this event?
I think first of all, I say the benefit of the open society. Democracy everywhere is not perfect, but democracy is a learning process. During our policy making, we can make some mistakes, but we have a capability to fix it. At least we have a capability to discuss it openly with the criticism. We never hide our shadow. Because of that, we learn from our mistakes and we try to advance it.
Good evening, everybody. This is Mongol's first English in the time talk show named Inspired by Zaya. Actually, for me, I didn't study English abroad, but through this really poor English, I just want to proudly introduce our competent, skilled, and talented young representatives of Mongolia. That's why today I'm inviting this very special lady who is the editor of Gogo.mn. Hello, you. Thanks for coming.
Hi, thank you for inviting me for this TV show, and of course I'm very pleased to be part of this show as well.
Okay, thank you so much. So mostly I invite a public figure or kind of well-known people in my talk show, but so as for you, please introduce yourself to my viewers.
Well, thank you for inviting me again, because as everybody knows, the viewers know, the guests are always the politicians or entertainment figures. So I was kind of surprised when you have invited me, asked me to take part in the show. So it was my pleasure to come here, and I'm very excited today. So my name is Otbayar. I work as an editor for Gogo.mn English news website that was launched recently, and we haven't been a year yet, but we are trying to deliver Mongolian news to everyone in the world.
Yeah, that's nice. So first of all, I would like to express my appreciation to your colleagues and your company, because you're working as my online distributor of my Inspired by Zaya talk show. So tell me about your website, our Mongol content, and Gogo.mn, why it is always #1 website,
Okay, thank you. And of course, we work in an online media sector for almost 10 years now.
Oh, already 10 years,
yes.
Right. Okay.
So our company was established 10 years ago in October 2005 as Mongol Content. So from the name, one can guess we produce Mongolian content and we are trying to step forward and contribute to the development of Mongolian contents and bring them to the global level, so that everyone could know Mongolia through our contents. So the word content itself conveys a lot of deep meaning behind that, so it's really comprehensive. So I really like that our company name is Mongol Content. Yes, because content can be anything. That could be intangible or tangible assets. So we're more likely working in an intellectual side of the Mongolian development. So we try to bring out talented, young, spirited, and creative people forward as the drivers of the development of Mongolia. So we are trying to contribute to our not only company but also the country development through bringing out the talents.
Wow, that's really perfect. So why your Gogo.mn site is always #1? What are you thinking?
So Gogo.mn, the national portal site, was launched in 2007. So just after 2 years, the company was established.
I see.
Yes, so we can probably say that we are #1 content aggregator in Mongolia, because Mongol Content owns the very first content license in Mongolia, actually.
Oh, I see.
So we had a vision from back then to become #1 in the sector in Mongolia. So we're really proud to say that actually on the market, can you name other portal sites?
No, I can't.
So we offer like a huge amount of content that directed to almost every segment in the market. So for example, anyone could just type in Gogo.mn and see the map of Mongolia, map of UB. Whenever the person is looking for some information regarding location or the latest news happening in Mongolia. And we deliver in Mongolian language as well as in English language. So we're thinking of like more broad and enhanced audience. So we provide contents for kids, contents for adults, contents for anything that one might be interested in.
Yes, exactly. So tell me about the www.mongolia.gogo.mn. It's, I think it's English version of your, main site, right?
So news.gogo.mn can be seen as #1 news website in Mongolia that delivers local news to Mongolian readers and the audience. So anyone interested in news, what's happening today or what's happening tomorrow or what has happened yesterday, they can log into our news website. So the idea of creating the English website news was the same, but the target was bigger because we were targeting the global readers.
Globally, it's such a big word, right?
Yes, because Mongolia is not anymore in a hidden status.
Yes.
So Mongolia is open. Mongolia is trying to build partnerships, relationships with anyone who is interested in the third party, economically, politically, socially. So we're now open, and people are really in much demand to read the news from the local inside. So this segment was not really good in Mongolia. So I was always had a desire to contribute even this much little to conveying the true news, the trusted, balanced, because in foreign or international media, news are kind of like skewed a little bit, or there is some biased news, because everyone is like, oh, Mongolia, it's not good for investors. There are so many blah, blah, blah problems. Like politically not stable, like economically it's not good partnership or whatever. Because some of those, even though true, the investors or anyone interested in Mongolia, they were receiving some kind of a skewed news. So my desire was to shed some positive light. So when I heard about the opportunity, I grabbed my CV and I just sent it to the employer.
So for you, how long have you been working here?
So it's not even a year now.
Wow, that's great. So are you satisfied to work here in this Mongol content?
Yes, our company supports its employees in a very diverse ways, because it helps us to grow professionally. It helps us to grow in our skills and our specialization for whatever we do there, because we're not just doing the portal website. Besides, we're doing a lot of application development, software development. So we're aggregating content in every possible way that we can convey through online platform. So we are doing the contents for kids.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
So a part of that will be the comics that we do. So we have already issued 6 books in order to promote the environmentally friendly attitude in kids. So we are partnering with the Ministry of Green Development and Environment. So and people are very positive about that initiative, actually.
Yes.
So we're not just doing some mobile applications or developing websites for our clients, but we're also doing some socially responsible content as well.
Wow, that's great. So thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, our talk show is reaching to you from Akamaru Sushi Ramyeon Japanese restaurant that locates in third floor of Central Tower. You can feel here a really nice Japanese environment. Today I'm meeting with this really beautiful lady. So next question is that I know that your major study is not journalism. So why you decided to work in this media sector? I think that you're kind of really brave girl, right?
Well, yes, because I wasn't majoring in like any field related to journalism or media. So, and as I said prior, when I was working in a securities company with the investors, they were like really asking for on-ground, reliable, trusted news from the local insight. So that was really a question for us as an analyst to find English news that we could send the links right away and say, okay, this is happening in Mongolia, or this will be happening. So it was really a challenge for us to find the news, translate them, or just to process every information that we receive just in Mongolian language, and then transfer it to the clients, to the investors that are interested into investing or doing business with Mongolian side. So in that regard, I was always like thinking, why there isn't anything good, reliable, and worth of reading that's available in English language. So that was like kind of my inspiration when there was an job ad.
Yeah, you know, I think that working in media sector and working as an editor, it's not an easy task. You know, so did you face any problems at the beginning?
Of course, I faced a lot of problems, a lot of challenges. I don't like to say problems, but more of a challenges, because I was new to this media sector. Even though I had several backgrounds already, like I was a teacher, I worked in a public sector as well. I worked in a business sector. I worked in international organizations. So I thought that I could do something with all that I know, because my parents always teach me to share what I know with others.
Ah, I see, that's nice.
Yes, because they would say that if you're not sharing and there is no use of what you have learned.
Yes, exactly.
So of course there were challenges like working with the journalists in their pace, because working in the media requires a lot of speed.
Yeah.
And you have to be really it requires a lot of I don't know how to say, a lot of energy from the person. Yes, that's true.
That's true.
I know, and I can feel it right now, because if you lack some energy, if you lose the moment, it's just gone.
Yes, that's true.
Yes, and plus you have to be energetic, you have to be very sensitive to what's happening around you, and also it requires a lot from the person, because I had to break my own principles in some ways. I had to learn new things. I had to just adjust to something that I wasn't even thinking of that would be an obstacle for me. So in that regard, I would say that I have developed myself a lot through my challenges. And on top of that, I have opened up my new, I wouldn't say talents, but new sides of me.
Yeah, I see. So I just want to emphasize one of your words, which is you broke your principles. How did you break it?
Well, I was kind of shy, like introvert kind of a person. But then I was, let's say not forced, but due to my working circumstances, I had to come out as a person, as a personality, and just to stand in front of a camera, let's say.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, for example, I saw you on the website that you took an interview from Mongolian president. So tell me about that impression at that moment.
Well, that was really not planned. First of all, not planned because he's a president.
Yeah.
And there are certain rules to how the media approaches him, and also the certain rules, of course, for as a government organization, they have their own limits and standards. So I wasn't expecting it at all, but then he suddenly, during the economic forum days, he just accepted our invitation to give an interview, but then he said only in English. So I was kind of like really surprised and honored, of course,
Yeah.
because I have no background in journalism and I had no experience, right? But then the Mongolian president accepts the invitation to be interviewed. So that was kind of scary. I was so nervous and I forgot some words. But then I'm learning.
Yeah.
And although there were some negative comments, I didn't limit or box myself on those comments, and I just focused on my bettering myself. So every day is a learning process for me.
Yeah, exactly. So I heard that this year would be your organization's, your company's 10th anniversary. So what is the special plan for the celebration?
So mostly people know Mongol Content as the operator of the Gogo.mn national portal website, but few people know behind is Mongol Content, which is behind for so many things that people not aware of that we are behind. Even the applications, the websites of many companies that we have been doing. So in that regard, for the 10th anniversary, we're more focusing on bringing out the Mongol content, the name, the brand. Yes.
Since you're working in the sector, what do you think about, the current Mongolian contents and their development or improvement by your eyes?
I've been using the applications abroad and here, so the thing that's probably some would say that I'm criticizing too much, but there's a lot of room for us to improve as a whole. Because everywhere we go, there are some lacking sides, there are challenges that we face, because we're new to this business and new to everything that's actually happening in Mongolia. Like, for example, we didn't know how to do the mega projects, but we're learning from every day, right? And there are like many different sides, many different oppositions, or the people just are getting used to know what's going on behind, for example, the mega projects. So the same goes with every sector in Mongolia. So as of like online business or online content aggregation, we're also learning, but we're already having 10 years of experience. So we are now working on stepping up to the global level. Not just doing the local contents, not just providing the local people with what we know, but we are trying to bring in the international standards. We are trying to bring in those new things that are being already developed abroad, but we're doing it with more like Mongolian spirit. So in that regard, I would probably say that I'm very proud to be part of the Mongol content.
Right.
So we call ourselves Mokos.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Sounds great.
Yeah, and they're like, everyone is really young, talented, and skilled. And together, it's like a cluster of many skills and cluster of those very big creative minds. So it's really fun to work with, and every day is a new.
Wow, that's really nice. Okay, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Inspired by Zaya English Entertainment Talk Show. Our talk show is reaching to you from Akamaru Sushi Ramyun Japanese restaurant that locates in 3rd floor of Central Tower. Okay, our conversation is becoming so official. So my next question is that I heard that you graduated in Chicago in the United States of America. So tell me about your working experience and what did you learn from that high developed country?
Thank you for asking me, because probably not many people would really understand what the work that goes behind studying abroad, because it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of sleepless nights as well.
Yes.
And of course, the funding is also one of the biggest challenges for the people of developing countries, right, like Mongolia. So in that regard, I always respect those who have graduated abroad, because it's an enormous amount of work behind those degrees, like whether it's bachelor degree or master's degree, and even the PhD is an enormous amount of work behind all of that, and it takes tears and sweat and sleepless nights. So I have spent 3 years in Chicago, and I purposefully went to study to America in the business administration field. Because my previous work before I went to study was at Samsung Electronics, and it really inspired me to do the business degree, because without that, in our current today's life, it's really hard to be successful, let's say. So I decided to do the master's in business administration. I went to TOEFL courses, and I passed every application process, and I was accepted to the university there. So I was like, it was my purpose, so I was really into it. So I spent 3 years of my life there.
So I'm seeing you as a city girl, urban girl. So by your thinking, who's city girl? What are the main requirements for the city girl? I mean, urban girls, maybe.
That's really a hard question, because nowadays because our country is in a very transitional period, there are some dubbing of the people, city girl or city boy, or from the local, right? So in that regard, of course, the city life requires to be living together as a community. So in the communal life, one has to be responsible not only to self but to others, and respect others as well. So in that regard, I try to be responsible not only for myself but for the others. For example, I would never cross the street on a red light. I would always wait for a green light, because I would respect the drivers, because if I would cross the street on a red light, they would be in a danger, I would be in a danger. So it just starts from this, I think.
Wow, that's really nice. I totally agree with you, so give me 5. I think that you work in media sector very successfully, and you already graduated in the United States, already have your master's degree, and I think that you're a kind of successful girl. So
Thank you.
Thinking, how do you define success by words?
Well, success is not something that falls from the skies one day, or just by wishing to be successful. And there were the words, I never wished for success, I worked for it. I don't know, but it was posted on our school's website. So I really like that word because behind every little achievement, there is a hard work. Always. Nothing is achieved without working out. So even like when you go to the gym, your muscles won't show after one exercise. It's a gradual process, and I think people should be aware of the whole process because it takes time, it takes sweat, it takes effort from anyone. And it's not the matter of being born in a rich or successful family. Even though you are from rich family, you have to make your own way through the challenges, through the obstacles that one should face in their life. Nothing is like easy. So I would define success as work.
Really? Okay. For example, are you a successful woman by your thinking?
Well, I'm trying to be. Because every day is a work for me. Every day I face challenges. Every day I have to deal with something in my life, in a daily life. So every accomplishment is a success for me.
So anyway, tell me about your family.
Well,
I know that you have a really cute girl. Okay.
Well, I have a daughter, and people usually think that when I say I have a kid, they would say, oh, she must be like a toddler or in maybe like 5-6 years old. And when I say no, she's actually like 12 years old. People would surprisingly look at me, wow, how come?
Yeah, for me it's same. Right.
Yeah, so we're trying. We're trying to be a good parent, raising a good person.
Yes.
So I always try to teach her, like, share, please share, be sharing. Because if you know something, just tell me or tell your grandmother or tell your friends or just share your knowledge with anyone who is interested to be talking with you. So in that way, I try to instill in her that sharing side, the sharing character, because when person knows and is eager to share, it's easier to attract people, it's easier to become friends, it's easier it will be easier in the life.
Yes.
Because there are like some people who don't like really share, right?
Yes. Yeah, I know some of the people.
So in that regard, I always try to be sharing, and through my example, I would like her to be a sharing and caring person. So as it said, sharing is caring.
Yes.
Yes.
That's true. That's nice. So, okay, at the end of the interview, oh, by the way, I can't end my talk show without asking that, what are your long-term plans and career plans?
Wow.
Were you a young person, yeah?
Yeah. So of course,
share.
like any young person, I would like to be successful in what I'm doing. So I think it's rather early for me to say, like, I'll be right there at the end of that year or something like that, because I'm building up
Is it a
my...
secret?
Let's say it's a kind of a secret. But I think everyone thinks and wants to be successful in whatever they're doing. So in my case, I would also be willing to be successful as well.
Yeah, great. So, our talk show has a special part, which is to throw Mongolian tradition for Uncle Bones.
Oh, okay.
Even though we're speaking in English, we're still Mongolians, right?
Yes.
So,
Okay.
I just want to see a spirit, okay? Horse and sheep is deemed lucky, okay?
Okay.
Camel and goat deemed a little bit unlucky, okay? All four sides of one girl is very good, okay? Let me see a spirit. As a young woman,
Oh my goodness.
three goats and one sheep. Okay, since you have a sheep, you're kind of lucky.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for coming. And
Thank
I
you
wish
for inviting me.
You're welcome. So I wish you every success in your life and work in the future. So at the end of the show, please look at that camera and Our camera is open to you. You can say whatever you want.
Okay, thank you for that chance for me to speak out my mind. So I would just like to say to young people, learn English, learn any other languages that you are interested in, because if you know language, you will be enabled to study more, learn more, and be successful in your life. Thank you.
Okay, that's a really nice word. So I wish you every success in your life and work in the
Thank you.
future, and I wish you also lots of happiness. Enjoy.
Thank you, and
Okay,
as
good.
well, the good wishes goes out to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was the Mongol's first English in a time talk show named Inspired by Zaya. I always really proud of my really competent, skilled young representatives of Mongolia. Please guys, follow your possibilities. Open yourself to the best of what can be and make it so. See you next week, guys.